Ooh, what's up, everybody? And man, that looks really, really bad. Hold The camera looks so blown out. Maybe it's just the way that things are. I don't know. Anyways, while I wait for people to join in, what's up? Not really doing it like in podcast mode. Hey, Kazi, what's going on, man? Yeah, no laptop, microphones and stuff set up. Just phone, live stream, and talk. Notifications coming in. Chilling. Yeah, me too, man. Um, Today's just been a very awkward day. I don't know what it is. Um, yeah, I kind of feel out of it. Like we're beating this sickness. I don't know what it is. What's up, Brian? Welcome in. Yeah, we're beating the sickness. It's crazy. Like everything has gone away except for the cough. But when I did that test, um, it came out negative or whatever. So I don't know. I don't know what it is. The year has been odd. It has. Yeah, and like I mean, I feel better. It's just a cough that sticks around, and then this thing. So it's like when I'm just chilling and not really doing anything, I get like extremely tired and end up passing out, taking a nap. That's why I sound like this. I just woke up from a nap, maybe like mm, about 20 minutes ago. Cobra Kai, strike first, strike hard, no mercy. Yeah, that was one of my favorite hoodies. I wear a lot. I just woke up from a nap. Hey, what's up, Zero Cool? Yeah, me too, man. Yeah, it's been crazy. So I figured, I mean, normally I would get the laptop out, I get the microphone out, set up all the whole podcast. I think just today is just like I don't know. This just seems more fitting just to chill. Just gotta keep moving even at a slower pace. Yeah, yeah. Um, yeah. So the craziest thing happened, and shout out to Carlos. Carlos was like, and I know he commented on the shorts that I posted up. So I guess that's just what I'm gonna be doing, is just kind of recapping a lot of the shorts and videos that I posted up this week, and just kind of like talk about them. Hello, Gene. Welcome in. So like the issue. So let me give you guys a backstory, like what happened. Um, so my dad got his Pixel 6a. It came in the mail. It was freaking me out because it was sent out on Monday last week, and well, not last week, but the last week, right? So not this past Monday, but the Monday before, and it ended up going all the way to Atlanta, Georgia, and got rerouted back to where my dad lives. So he ended up getting it on Tuesday, I think. Tuesday this week he got the phone. He was getting everything set up. He's familiar with transferring all his information from his Pixel 4a to the Pixel 6a. What up, TJ? Yeah, well, I mean, it was just that one store, and it's not a corporate store according to the guy in there. I'll explain how that is. So my dad, he got his Pixel 6a. He was getting ready to do like the transfer and stuff like that, and then he was gonna pop his physical SIM in from his Pixel 4a into the 6a. Uh, Here's one of the biggest issues with Google Pixel phones, especially the newer ones. I would say from the Pixel 4 on up, and try not to sneeze here. I don't know what it is, but it started to trigger me to want to sneeze. So if I sneeze out loud, I'm sorry. But anyways, yeah. So he takes a SIM ejector tool, pushes it in the hole, pops the SIM tray out, and as he goes to grab the SIM tray and completely take it out, so he can take his SIM card out, the 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 SIM tray cover area, like the little tab on the far end, broke off from the metal tray. So my dad's physical SIM card stuck inside his Pixel 4a, and he doesn't want to like dig it out with anything So he was wanting help from that AT&T store, and I guess the guy there is just completely lazy. Mind you, like my dad lives in a very small town, so this AT&T store is the only store in his town. The nearest the nearest store besides that one, that's an actual corporate store according to said person, is an hour drive away from where my dad lives. Right, so my dad lives in the rural area in Oklahoma. So, anyways, so my dad tells me that the guy told him that even though the store has the AT&T logos all around it and whatnot, it's not an official AT&T store. It's like a third party dealer. And I was like, okay, that's weird, but okay, whatever the guy says, like. So every time my dad goes to that guy for something, the guy can't do anything, right? Um, So my dad went to him because I told my dad I was like, you don't have to worry about fishing out the physical SIM card. All you need to do, really, if you want, is um, you can call AT&T and convert to eSIM, or you can go to an AT&T store and they can assist you with going converting to eSIM. Right? That's all my dad was doing when he went to that store. And when he got there, he went into the store. He told the guy like, "Hey, my son says that this Pixel 6a can do eSIM, and I'd like to convert to eSIM." Right? Seriously, that's just all my dad wanted to do. SIM trays always need to be taken out very carefully. Yeah, well, I mean, but like my Pixel 2 XL, I have no problem taking that one out. Um, that little the the end of the SIM tray or whatever, like the beginning of the SIM tray, is not flimsy on the Pixel 2 XL. It's same with the Pixel 3, same with the Galaxy A53, same with the iPhones. I've gone a little bit rougher on those and have been able to get those out no problem. It's on the Google Pixel with that very flimsy. I don't want to say flimsy, but it seems like it's flimsy by design. It's just I don't know. It's weird. So anyhow, so my dad goes to the AT&T store in his town, the only one in his town. He lets the guy know that he wants to convert to eSIM. The guy tells him like, "Oh, uh, we can't do that. You would need to first get a physical SIM card, and then we can get you on the eSIM." And so my dad's like, "Well, I have a physical SIM card. It's in this phone, it's in my Pixel 4a. So there is an active phone line on my accounts, and I would just like to get it to eSIM." Now, I remember Carlos, I'm talking about, back in the day, when I had Los Mobile, and Carlos was like, it's converting to eSIM, and Carlos was very specific that really all they do is they get one of those cards that have like the QR code. After they set you up an eSIM profile and to that card, and really, you just get that card with the QR code. You scan the QR code, and you download your eSIM profile. But since it's being done in the store, the guy can just pretty much go ahead and do that part also as well. Make sure that the eSIM profile is downloaded to my dad's phone, and that everything's working properly, like calls, text, and mobile data. So the guy continues to tell my dad like, "Oh, well, yeah, you need a physical SIM card. Like, you need to have a physical SIM card." And my dad's just sitting there like, in shock and awe, like, I just told you I do have one, right? I don't know why. I guess my dad, he didn't want me to get aggravated or anything like that. So like he called me after the fact. Like, cause I always tell my dad, like, when you're in there and if they're telling you something that you feel is odd, give me a call. Like, you can have me on speakerphone. I'll tell the person what needs to be done, right? So my dad, he calls me afterwards. He says, "Hey, the guy says that he can't do the eSIM on the phone unless I have a physical SIM card." And I was like, "Okay, but you do. You have AT&T service." But that's like, "Well, he says I have to have a new physical SIM card to get the eSIM." And I'm like, "No. Why would you need to go get a new physical SIM card to get eSIM active on your device? That don't make sense. That's stupid." So my dad's like, "It's okay. It's okay." He's like, "This guy's always like that. He doesn't ever really want to do anything." So like the way that my dad positioned how the employee at that store works is he won't do anything. So like if you need to fix, if you come in there to say to have something fixed on your phone, right? Or if you come in there to do something basic or whatever, right? Like he really doesn't want to help. Only time that he's ever really wanting to help is if you're setting up a new line of service, and then that way he does all the upsells, right? Talks you into the best phones AT&T is offering, and then the accessories for it and all this other stuff, right? So it's only when it's making sales does he really actually care to do anything. If it's anything else besides the fact, it's a no for him. So my dad's like, it's okay. You know what? Like, I'm gonna go drive an hour away to the, to the closest town that has an AT&T store. I felt bad for my dad because I was like, you can just call AT&T over the phone, talk to customer care. They can set up your eSIM profile and then walk you through downloading it to your Pixel 6a. He's like, no, it gives a reason for him and my stepmother to go to that town. So he's cool. He's just gonna wait another day for it. So that's what I was talking about the first AT&T rep. The second AT&T rep, he was, he took care of my dad. It was just I felt like that maybe he kind of didn't want to go through all those steps, because when my dad went the next day to the other store that's about an hour away, my dad's like, hey, the guy says that there's a second IMEI I need to give him, and it might be on the box of the phone. And I'm like, okay, why is this guy even referencing the box for the phone when you could just dial star pound 06 pound and get that information, right? Um, so my dad's like, can you explain to him? And so I get on the phone. The guy gets on the phone. He's like, hey man, I was just telling your dad, there's a second IMEI. I'm like, yeah, you just dial star pound 06 pound. And as soon as I said that to him, like he low key like, ugh, like damn it, like I got to do it this way type of thing. And I'm like, dude, that's your job. Because my dad didn't set up his phone all the way. So the guy's like, well, I'm gonna have to help him set this phone up completely because it's not set up yet. I'm like, okay. I'm like, and just in case you may not know, but if you need the EID number, you just go to settings, network. You click on to add a SIM, and it's gonna want you to download your eSIM, and you click on need help, and then it'll open up where you can manually input the code for the provider to download your eSIM profile, and it also has the EID number right there as well. So the guy's like, I'll help set it up, right? So and what he meant by help set it up is he got past all the all the information, so he skipped everything, right, just to get to the home screen, just so he can dial star pound 06 pound and get the IMEI number that's needed for the eSIM. He did all that, and then he asked my dad if my dad wanted help setting up his phone, like transferring all his information over. But my dad already knew how to do that using the Type C to Type C cables. My dad knew how to do that. But at the same time, too, my dad didn't want to ask the guy for anything else because he already made it. He already made my dad feel like, hey, I'm doing a lot already as is type of thing. My dad's like one of those guys that's like, if you're gonna complain about doing your work, like I really don't need you. I'll figure it out myself. Which is my dad's way of saying, I got my son who's dealt with this type of stuff and will help me out. So really, that's all. That was that situation. That's what happened with my dad. But right now, he's up and running on his Pixel 6a. He's enjoying it. I gotta make a video that I'm gonna post it on YouTube. It's not anything grand. It's just something that my dad's interested in with the phone. So I'm gonna show him how the live translate works. With having the tensor chip and being able to do that live on the spot translation. So my dad can use it to have conversations with people. I think that's pretty cool. That my dad he really wants to get the full capacity out of his Pixel phone. He already knows about Magic Eraser. He's kind of cool about that. Like, hey, I can take my photos and not worry about people in background. I can just erase them later. I'm like, yeah, yeah, definitely for sure. You can do that. Yeah, that's cool. But I mean, I told my dad, I was like, you literally you literally contact AT&T, like the first store that's in your hometown, like regardless if they say that they're third party or whatever, you know what I mean? Like they are still representing AT&T. I told my dad, if you feel like reporting them, report them. Like I would, you know. Maybe the person that owns that store that pays a franchise fee to AT&T to sell their products in his store. maybe he's not aware of how his employee is acting. You know, so um, you report the store. AT&T gets gets a hold of the franchise owner, lets him know. The franchise owner finds out, goes and deals with the employee directly. It's just one of those things. So, anyways, that was that. Now I'm gonna ask you guys for a favor. So you know how Visible had the 15 off 12. If anyone has signed up for that promo, because I don't remember seeing it, but when you seen the promo for 15 off 12, which is basically $15 off your bill for the next 12 months, did it require you to port in a phone number? Because the last I remember, like I got one line on Visible for my youngest daughter, because she was going to use her phone as a hotspot for all her siblings' IoTs to connect to, because they got their Nintendo Switches and stuff like that. So I got her the phone line because when we go up to Vegas for a spring break, on that travel, I wanted her to turn her hotspot on so they all can do their thing, like, basically. And I looked at her bills due in I think tomorrow, right? What is today? Yeah, it's due tomorrow. And when I looked at her bill, it's $30 instead of 15. I'm like, what the hell's going on, you know? And I remember that on well, I can't show you because I'm using the phone on Visible right now to live stream. But I got a text message from Visible. I think it was like a week ago, and it said that I had 7 days left to port in a number to keep my promo. And I'm like, what? I don't remember the website even saying that when I was starting to set up everything. Basically, it didn't tell me I had to port in a number. You just had to be a new customer, is what it stated. At least that's what I remember. So I'm like, my memory's bad for those who don't know. So if anyone knows for sure, like, did you really have to port in a phone number to keep that promo, or was it just you had to be a new customer? Because right now her bill that's due tomorrow is wanting $30, and it's not showing the uh, the $15 promo. Where, like, when you if anyone's familiar with the Visible app, when you go into your account tab and you kind of scroll down, and they'll show you promos. They'll tell you what promos you have if you have an active promo. And like on mine, it says 15 off. So it still says it for mine. It still says that on the 22nd of February, my bill is $15 because I'm on the $30. Well, I reduced my plan down to the $30 plan. Supposedly, right now, I'm supposed to be still on the 45 plus. However, they've already downgraded my connection. So since they did that, I put the SIM in my Pixel 5, and I'm using it that way. So, but yeah, I just want to know. So anyone on the replay too, if you know, does it require a number port in to keep that promo? Let me know, because I thought it was crazy. Um, yeah, I just want to be able to know that, so that way I know what my bill is going to be like. Because I think it's a bit deceiving, especially if I have to sit here and ask for the community's help to that anyone knows the specifics for sure, remembers the specifics for sure. It kind of tells you that, like, Visible did a piss poor job in executing that promo and letting people know how it works. I think that everything's got to be up front, right? Like, I'm always looking at promotional deals between any of the prepaids, MVNOs, and even the MNOs. I'm always looking at the deals on that, right? Like, I posted that video about Google Fi having $500 off if you port in your number to Google Fi. You can get 500 off the Galaxy S23 and S23 Plus, and then 600 off the S23 Ultra, which is a hell of a deal. Um, Anybody that wants the Galaxy S23, you can get it from Google Fi for $299. Port a number in to Google Fi, get the phone. And the cool thing about Google Fi is that Google Fi phones are unlocked. They're already SIM unlocked. Um, Unless they did some sort of change in the last like 2 months or so. The last I remember, Google Fi phones are unlocked. So if you get a Galaxy S23 on Google Fi, you can already start using it with whatever provider that you have and have the Google Fi line as a backup. Or just use the Google Fi line as a backup line for 1 month and then drop the line if you don't want it. Or pause the line if you're going to travel outside of the country, and then you can just reinstate the line when you're going to travel. So, oh wow, the freaking what up, two phones? The freaking comments wasn't even moving for me. Like, what the hell? It was stuck on comments way earlier, so I didn't even see all these. Let me catch up. All right, I was last there when I had the Nexus 6. It had a flimsy SIM slot. Okay, yeah. Uh, Gene put wrong. Wrong what? What they did? Sorry, I gotta catch up with all your guys' comments. They should have removed the physical SIM. Um, is correct. QR code. Then in like 15 minutes, Eastern. Oh, okay. What up, Sneed? Sorry, I didn't see your comments. I'm so sorry, man. What the hell? Wow, horrible customer service. Yeah, yeah, for sure. That's the way it works on iPhones. I got you. Sounds like they're misinformed. Yeah. Yes, on Android, iOS, two MEIs. Yeah. Yep. Sure. Sure. Bobby Warren, what's up, man? Sorry I didn't see your comment. It just wasn't scrolling up for some reason. Usually when comments come in, the screen pops up, like it pops up on the screen, and I see it. And I was thinking like you guys were just listening and not commenting anything. I'm like, what happened? And like, no, this is weird. So, okay, I'm caught up. Let's see. Tempted because my Pixel 7 Pro overheats. A lot of people are talking about that. You know, mine's did yesterday. When I was live streaming, while my wife was going in to get her hair fried and dyed, basically, and I was just chilling outside. It overheated. It overheated with it the weather outside being like it was like 58, 59 degrees. Yeah. Let's see. I'm thinking about going to Metro and get the $25 plan. Hey, why not, man? If T-Mobile works great in your area, why not? Do it, you know. The terms of service said that you have to port in a number. Oh, see, yeah, there he goes. Thanks, Manny. I appreciate that. I appreciate. So it does. So my basically my plan is going to be $30 on the 22nd because I didn't port any number in. I don't have numbers to just port in on that to keep that. So that's why my daughter's line that's due tomorrow is $30. Got it. Got it. Appreciate that. That's very poor. Yeah, look at the terms of service of that to be able to get it for like 15 bucks for the whole year. That sucks. Yeah, I don't. I mean, what do you call it? I don't qualify for ACP. I don't. I know it sounds strange, right? Because I used to have Medicaid. When I got the Boost Mobile prepaid line on the EBB program, I had Medicaid. I don't have it anymore. They completely did away because like I had, so like here in Arizona we had Medicaid and they had a specific medical insurance for diabetics and they got rid of that. Um, so yeah, my insurance went away. So now I can't qualify for ACP or any of that stuff. Uh, but Mint Mobile is a deal breaker too. Mint Mobile is a deal breaker, yeah, per se, but the idea of having visible was using hotspot, unlimited hotspot. Like there's no set amount, and it's not based on your high priority data access where you're throttled afterwards. Visible just has unlimited hotspot 5x5 connection, which would have been fine for them to play on their Nintendo Switches while we were traveling because it's only 5 hour drive from here to Vegas. So when we go to Vegas, just like a family vacation for spring, that's totally fine. Yeah, that's the reason. So like having it on there as a steal, you know, $15 for like a year, that would have been cool as hell. Um, because right now, really, like if I wanted to have a family plan, I could just have it on Boost Infinite because it's opened up to add a line of service. So like my wife has her own line, and I have my own line. We're not on the same account together. What up, Blaze? We're not on the same account together, so I can take my daughter. I can get a phone line for her. It would be no problem. Um, and I think I'm probably just gonna end up doing that. Do I have Nintendo Online with Game Boy and Game Boy Advance? No. My kids do. I don't. I don't have any online gaming profiles. The last one I even had is gone. That was Stadia. That was like the closest I had to online gaming, and that's like gone. Nintendo Switch. My addiction is Splatoon 3. Yeah, right now, so like my wife has an addiction to the Switch. She loves Animal Crossing, so she instead of buying her own Switch, she just uses one of my kids, whether it's my son's or my youngest daughter's Switch, and she just plays Animal Crossing. And you don't need online though. Nice. That's dope, man. Because I know what you're talking about. I seen people talking about it on YouTube, like posting videos and stuff like that. I just got to Animal Crossing. Yeah, yeah, my wife is playing that. If it comes to gaming, like I've been gaming on my laptop, but it's mostly just been using that Arc emulator and just been playing like like any game from any console. So even going as far back as if you want to play like on Atari, Commodore 64, like going way back to those games. Gene, you're at work right now. They don't say nothing about you watching a live stream, or you low key watching with earbuds in your ear. Bro, it's just $19 for a year basic plan and 49 for the expansion pass. Maybe I'll end up getting that. I gotta create. I'm probably gonna create it for my younger kids because they use the same profile on both their Switch Lights. So it just makes sense, just buying one pass and it being on. Is it able to be on both Switches? Just curious about that. Yeah. While I wait on that answer, family plan is $79 for 6 accounts. Oh shit, I'll just do that. I've been giving on my iPad Pro. It's amazing. Nice, awesome. Yeah, I've heard about that, Brian. Thank you, man. I was wondering about that. I heard people talk about it. If you use a specific VPN or like just a VPN in general, that it's a workaround to get around that 5x5 connection on Visible. I appreciate that. It's super cheap. Yeah, super cheap it is. Yeah, and so like the other videos I dropped this past week, we did talk about Visible connection protection. I think that's actually that's pretty cool. Now Sneed broke it down way better than I did. I was excited to see it. And I made my video and talked about it. And I was like, "Oh, cool! Like hopefully more people find out about this, right?" And then I get notifications when Steve drops a video, and I see that he made a video about the same topic, and he broke it down like in all. I was like, "Great! Now everyone's gonna know exactly how this thing's supposed to work." But I think overall in general, I think it's really cool that Visible's doing that. Um, a lot of companies are laying off people, right? Google Google laid off employees. I was reading lately. I've been reading a lot of articles from different people that got axed from Google, and it's crazy to hear their stories, man. It's kind of sad. The ones that don't own or use the Switch are hating, man. Oh, okay. I didn't even know people were hating on that. Well, why would you hate on that? If you get access to a Game Boy and Game Boy Advance games, there are a lot of old school Game Boy games I get down with, and a hell of a lot of them on Game Boy Advance. So for sure, man. You can root a Switch and get Steam. Yeah, I've heard about that, but these are my kids' Nintendo Switch Lites. I'm not gonna do any modifications to them because if anything goes wrong, they don't know how to fix it. Get the Switch now. I mean, we got enough game consoles in this house, man. Like both my younger ones have their Switch Lites. We have a Switch OLED. We have a PS5, a PS4, and I am grabbing. So there's like a collector's shop here on the collector's marketplace, and they get in some pretty rare stuff, and so the guy there is supposed to notify me when those Nintendo 64 consoles that had the clear casings, when any of those comes in, he's gonna let me know because he's got a bunch of N64 cartridges. So when those come in, that's what I'm gonna buy for me. is an N64. I miss playing games on N64. I play it on the emulator, but it's not the same like playing it from like the actual console itself. Playing games like Turok, Mario 64, Star Fox 64, Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Mortal Kombat Trilogy, like any of those games. Well, Nintendo's the best at playing. Like ever since Sega dropped from being a console maker to just a game maker, and like all their fantastic libraries of like Sega Genesis games, you can find them on Nintendo. From what I've heard from Nintendo Online, so you can even play like the old school Sega Genesis games, like of course like all the Sonic the Hedgehog titles, Altered Beast, Thunder Force series. Um, yeah, Truxton. You have Mystic Defender, aka Spellcaster. That game gave me nightmares. That game gave me nightmares because and so this is how weird this is. I'll share this story with you guys. Kind of embarrassing, but whatever, you know. Um, so when I was 7 years old, or yeah, I was 7 years old. My dad like we had a Nintendo. We had a Sega Genesis. Everybody on the block had a Nintendo. My dad bought a Sega Genesis. I guess 32-bit gaming. The guy told him it was better graphics than on the Nintendo. My dad all about that. So he comes home with the Sega Genesis bundle kit back in the day, right? So it's got the first generation console, so not the smaller one, but the really big one that also had the little volume dial on the side with the 2.5 millimeter headphone jack, so you can play with the headphones in. And TMNT, oh yeah. So it came with Altered Beast and Thunder Force 2. So we had those games. And I think it was like 2 weeks later, my dad bought Mystic Defender, which that's the American title. The Japanese title is Spellcaster 2, because Spellcaster 1 was on the Sega Master System. So I come home and I see the cartridge box wrapped in cellophane on top of the TV. So I decide not to do my homework. I decide to, rip that open and start playing it. Now everything was fine with the game. Sorry about that. I was getting notifications. Everything was fine with me playing Mystic Defender, right? You're just this, spellcaster named Joe Yamato, and you have to save Alexandria from what the hell was that villain's name? It's not Zareth. Zareth was the guy resurrecting the demon. Anyways, um, yeah, what's up, Dan? Yeah, so as I'm playing the game, like everything's cool about it, right? And then back in the day, video games come with the little booklet. The booklet kind of like has all this information about the game, like the buttons and what they're for, how to play the game, and then it also gives you like detail of the game, like the story wise and everything, and like every enemy and what they are. So the manual. I decided to read that, and there's these the main villains that you find in every level that you attack and kill are they're called face changers. So like on the screen, their hands are just going wacky like this on the screen, right? But what it signifies is that they're changing their face rapidly. And I don't know why, but I started to envision things that were just like, yeah, gave me nightmares. Yeah, so it was my fault there. My fault there on that. I should have put on Do Not Disturb. All right, here we go. We'll find out right now if my wife's going out tonight with her friends or she's gonna hang out with us. A lot of people are acting way crazy with my wife today. It's because Super Bowl's tomorrow. So everyone's like shopping for stuff and they're just acting crazy. Yeah, everything's going hectic and crazy in my city. People are acting stupid. The Super Bowl's tomorrow. I need Splatoon 3. And Pokemon works well. Nice, nice. I don't like gaming on mobile. I need a console or a handheld. No phones. I don't mind on mobile phones. Like since Stadia shut down and they had that update that you can install on your Stadia controller to have it Bluetooth capable rather than Wi-Fi dependent. You can buy that stand that little stand that holds your phone and connects it to the Stadia controller so you can portable game. Oh no! Please don't tell me she's gotta stay late. Yeah, Stadia controller. Did you already do the update to convert it from Wi-Fi to Bluetooth? Understand this too that when you is and they say on the website, and I'm like, it's not a bad thing, but like on Stadia's website it says once you install the update and convert it from Wi-Fi to Bluetooth, you can't you can't reverse it back. And it's like, but why would anyone reverse it back for? Because the Wi-Fi connection state was for you to be able to play Stadia on your smart TV. Stadia is shut down, and so you would need to actually like you would need Bluetooth to connect, to like laptops and other gaming consoles and stuff. Uh, so, yep, exactly what I thought. They're trying to ask my wife to stay until close. She's been there all day. Like I mean, everyone. So like at my wife's job. Sorry, side note thing, non-tech. Everyone at my wife's job. So like today, obviously they knew they were gonna be like hella busy. So a lot of people were scheduled like 10 hours, 12-hour shifts. And one of the front end supervisors, he actually asked for more hours. So he made sure that he was gonna work from 6 in the morning until close, which is 10:30 at night. Um, Now he's running around complaining he's tired. And I'm just like, somebody's letting me know, like, he's complaining. He has to go home. So the closing supervisor, who just recently promoted to that, asked my wife to stay. I'm like, no. Yeah, I know. I know what you mean. My wife ain't never home either, dude. Because people like, supervisors want to take half the day off. They want to go. They always depend on my wife. Like, bro, um, since November, she's been working 6-day shifts. Um, or six days or more. So she only gets one day off, but like sometimes it's like working 8 days straight. So yeah, she's very tired. They've been doing that to her since November, so her schedule's always been whacked. There was one time where like she was working 12 days straight, right? They overwork her, like they overwork her really badly. So like now that she's being asked to stay until close, I'm like, no. So yeah, I'm telling her like, nah. She already made plans to kind of go hang out with one of her friends. Like, no. It's time for the other people on her crew to step up. Like, they want to know why she's so tired. Now's the perfect time for them to understand. Instead of her again having to save the day as the anchor of the crew, they can handle it. So she's supposed to be off here in an hour. How's my Pixel? My Pixel's fine. Like other people are trying to get me to say it. My Samsung is fine, right? Ever since Tech Odyssey dropped that video that a huge percentage of parts in the Pixel 7 and 6 are Samsung machined products. It's like every phone uses parts from a different manufacturer, different. Yeah, so. But yeah. was texting. For a budget phone, the Galaxy A53, I really like this phone. I really do. Non-pixel phone, Galaxy A53. Appreciate it, Ricky. When you're scheduled, silly. Anyhow, yeah. So, have you tried the Galaxy A14 5G? No, I haven't tried it yet, but I'm hearing a lot of good things about it. Um, so we'll see. The other day, I think the YouTube channel is Tech Titan. I think that's his channel. It's busy at work, Ricky. Ouch. I think that's the channel, but he's doing a giveaway. He's got a couple of Galaxy A14s. Um, and I made a quick shorts talking about the scam. I don't remember if I made it go live or not. I should check. But yeah, somebody commented on my comment, right? Because that was one of the things you had to do to be entered in the giveaway. And someone replied to my comment, and they were like, text this number, and that was their username. Their username was their mobile phone number, and I'm just like, what? Like, no. So I screenshotted it and then made a quick shorts about it. I think. Yeah, I did. Oh, 161 views. Okay. Scammer using creators giveaways. Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. So, I mean, if I win one of those A14s, cool. Then I got something to show you guys. If I don't win it, all gravy. People blowing the Samsung Pixel thing out of proportion. Yeah, well, because a lot of people really don't know like how it works, right? Like you can go to an Apple fanboy and tell them that the screens that are on some of the iPhones are manufactured by Samsung, and that's gonna blow their mind because when they think everything's in house, they think everything is in house. So they think the screen, everything, the circuitry is all machined in house, and it's like yeah. Because I'm seeing it too, right? Like most of my videos I have where it holds potential bad comments. That's just because if you don't have any comments held for review, those those weird you know uh, as porn sites or whatever, they put their comments on there like meet lovely women dot da 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 XYZ. It's like it's weird. So to prevent those from coming in, that's why I have whole comments on. But then it holds other comments too that are potentially bad, and I see them on there, and people are just like hashtag made by Samsung type of thing. So it's like, and they go off complaining and complaining and complaining, and yeah. Ever since YouTube switched up its policies about cursing on videos and on live streams and stuff like that, so that even applies to comments from what I was able to read. So I just have it held potentially, just in case. Yeah, scammers. Happened on Instagram too. I made another shorts that's talking about scammers on Instagram. Yes, we do have to protect ourselves. That is for sure. That is absolutely for sure. We do have to protect ourselves. It's like and get the info out for other people so other people know how to protect themselves. Trust me, I have my hood on because I have bed hair. I take this thing off and it's gonna. I have to waking up from that nap. It was a good nap though. Sad though that my MassFit didn't track it. Usually it's supposed to track my naps and my sleep. I'm just trying to see like how much sleep I'm getting, how much deep sleep I'm getting and stuff like that. What up, Oscar? Welcome in. Yeah, they do, Brian. I have made $600 on YouTube so far. Sweet, nice man. That's awesome. That's like monthly, right? 600 monthly from AdSense and super chats and stuff. Yeah, it's weird and like my uh what I felt like YouTube was gonna do with the whole YouTube Shorts, because YouTube Shorts are monetized now and it's pretty cool. Oh, total so far? Yeah, that's good. Um, keep going doing your thing, man. Because I know like As of February 1st, any YouTube shorts that you post, um, it's monetized now. And the funny thing is like with shorts or short form content, you don't need to turn on monetization. It's automatically turned on once you set the shorts to be live to view. And it's way different. As far as like how much you make on it, like I made 12 cents on one of my shorts that has like over 1,000 views. I get paid monthly. It's horrible. Yeah, we get paid monthly on YouTube too. You know, it's once a month on the 21st, unless the 21st falls on a Sunday, then it's the 22nd of every month. Yeah, but they're neutering USB-C to USB-C 2.0 speeds. Apple move, gotcha. Yeah, so you actually, if you are a content creator that monetizes your videos and stuff, if you make short form content, you can. That's kind of the reason why there's been like a lot more shorts being uploaded on my channel along with videos, and then going live like maybe once or twice a week. It's for that very reason. And also right now I have partnership on Facebook, so I've been uploading a lot of short form content on Facebook. So now basically my kids get two checks from all my content creating. They get the YouTube check. It goes to them to like whatever they want to buy from like the toy store, or if they want to save it to get something. The money goes to them, and then now the money that I make on Facebook also goes to them. So that's what both these two things do, right? Like I get to talk about tech, and they get, I guess you could say, like an allowance out of it. Um, yeah. So it's things are slightly moving up. Plus, also, I'm kind of a paid partner on Instagram. It's a little bit different with Instagram though, which is still under Meta, which is owns Facebook and Instagram, but very very weird how very different how they do it. It's an Apple thing, so you can buy more Apple products. Keeping that Lightning port, which they're supposed to change it, aren't they? For like the European versions of iPhones, they're supposed to be Type C. They lost their battle with the EU over it, and so now they have to convert. The newer iPhones that come out have to have Type C. I don't know. A lot of people are talking about that it's going to be dependent on mag charging. So we'll see what happens. Apple wants to get rich off of us. Yeah, they do. They for sure do. And other companies follow the leader on the dumb decisions, like getting rid of the charging brick. Like that's still kind of irks the hell out of me. Um, some people, this may be their very first smartphone, and there's no charging brick for them, so they got to go and buy it, like buy the charging brick separately. And it just irritates the hell out of me when companies are like, "We're going green for the environment, so we don't want industrial waste." Like, yeah, but you're still selling a charging brick separately in a whole new different separate package, which is adding on more waste than reducing waste. Like, mind blowing. Mind blowing as hell. I wonder if Carlos is traveling down here. He said he was supposed to be here today. Well, at least the last thing he hit me up on Twitter, and he said that he might be coming down Saturday for the Super Bowl. So I figured he'd be here, but I haven't got any messages from him that he's in town. Usually, when Carlos does come into my city, he usually like hits me up on Twitter, let me know that he's here. So I guess he's not coming. I like USB-C cables better on Android. Has them for years. Yeah. Well, funny, this iPad still comes with a brick. How's that going green? It's not about green. It's marketing tactics, right? You remember when Apple did that whole thing with slowing down people's performances on older iPhones, and they claimed it was because of the battery. But really what they were trying to do was just make the experience on iOS finicky for a lot of people with older iPhones to force them to buy new ones. So it's like one of those things. This is why, like I say, like when people talk about software support and stuff like that, reason why that I'm okay with 3 years instead of 5 years of OS support or anything like that is only because it prevents these companies from getting stupid when they realize that they're not moving as much units as they thought they would, to resort to something like purposely messing with your older device because you're not upgrading. That's the reason why. Like, don't mess with my experience because that's just gonna totally piss me off. You know. So, because some people just, I mean, that's one of the things with iPhones, right? This is an iPhone 10s, right? And I still throw my SIM card in and I still use it. It's a 10s or XS, right? It's old. See, it's got the two camera layout instead of the square module on the back. It's old, but people aren't ashamed and don't really care that they're still using something like this from when they bought it from day one and it's still working now. It doesn't bother them because it works good. So, like, the plus side of having longevity and software support is that you don't have to switch it up. But the amount of people that will stay on an older device as long as it's still working versus the people that upgrade every year, it's higher for those people who just keep their phone until it breaks versus those who upgrade every year to the latest and greatest. And these companies like Apple and Google, they would rather have it the other way around where people are upgrading every year and a small portion is holding on to the older devices for longevity. And so that's how you force people to upgrade. You make their stuff suck, right? You do all these weird things to it. Um, that makes it because some people just don't want to call in the customer service, and so they would just be like, I'll just go buy me a new one. It's time for me to upgrade. And that's exactly what they're expecting the scenarios to be all the time. It's like, oh, my phone's acting so weird. It's acting crazy. It's doing this, doing that. Well, I mean, I bought this like 4 years ago. It's time to upgrade anyway, so I'll just go to Verizon or AT&T and go and see if I can trade it in and get something else, right? That's what they want. They don't want you to call in and say, hey, why is my phone acting so buggy? Nice to buy a year-old phone and still get 3 OS updates and 4 year security updates. Yeah, it's totally fine with me the way that Google Pixels is doing it. Nice how Samsung is offering 4 years. 4 years OS support, 5 year security patch. Um, I can't say anything for the flagships because I don't have a Samsung Galaxy flagship device like an S series. I have an A series device. I'm still waiting for Android 13 for the Galaxy A53. I seen a video posted that the A13 5G got Android 13, so I'm like, okay, where's Android 13 for my A53? Yeah, the 5A, my Pixel 5. So when I'm using the live stream on, I had it off for a couple of weeks now, like 2 weeks. Turned it on and it had the February update. Although it's weird because like my Pixel 6 and 7, the update was like 30 megabytes in size. My Pixel 5's update was 1.96 gigabytes. And I'm like, wait a minute, it's already on Android 13. Like, what could this huge software update be? So I'm like currently researching it. Later I'll get back online and search some more and find out what was in the update for the Pixel 5 that made it so big compared to like my other Pixel devices that were like 30 megabytes size. Yeah, but no, hopefully my Galaxy A53 gets it. Like, I'm not gonna go and get the Galaxy A54. How do I like One UI? One UI, it is smooth. Let me just say that. It is smooth. And this is, I'm using a budget device with an Exynos 1280, right? So it's not even using like a flagship CPU. It's using a mid-range CPU. And it's pretty smooth. Um, so it's nothing like TouchWiz. I'll say that. TouchWiz, not like it at all. Not finicky, not trash, not over polluted. Which reminds me, well, not reminds me, but it's kind of funny though because with Android 14 and on its way of coming up, I wonder how like companies like Boost Mobile's gonna feel. 'Cause Boost Mobile's like notorious for bloatware, right? Now, one of the things that's going to be in Android 14 from what I was able to read up on with the developer preview 1 release, Android 14 is going to give people the ability to remove bloatware, like to install it. like system apps and bloatware apps and carriers could be uninstalled in Android 14. That's something we've been waiting for years. We've been waiting for that since freaking Android 2.1 Eclair. um, shoot, Android 2.0. Uh, what was Donut? I think Donut was 1.5, if I remember, or Cupcake was 1.5, something like that. We've been waiting since the early days of Android to be able to get rid of bloatware. Nothing sucks worse than getting a device. Yeah, a Froyo maybe 2.2 Froyo. I remember the days of Froyo. I remember when everyone was going bananas over Froyo. Like, what was it? One of my favorite former content creators, Chris Chavez. I used to watch a lot of his videos of his ROM reviews on like the HTC devices and stuff like that. He eventually started working for Fandroid and was working on their podcast for a while. Now he works for Swappa, and he does the video ads for Swappa on YouTube. But yeah, I remember, he had the very first. Well, he had the Galaxy S on Sprint, right? So the one with the slide out keyboard. I remember he was like waiting for the Froyo update for it, and then he manually pushed the update to his device. It was so funny. Um, but yeah, we've been waiting for that for years. It sucks, right? The internal storage of the device, like you'll get 128 gigs of internal storage. Maybe you'll only have like 96 gigs available for usage. Um, it's really how it goes, right? So even think about back in the old days when we only had like 8 gigs of internal storage, 16 gigs of internal storage, right? You have 8 gigs of internal storage, and 3.3 gigs is used just for the software and system apps and stuff. Yeah, that totally sucked. And we all wanted to, like, that was one of the reasons why rooting was so popular back in the day. Like, I mean, people still root their phone and flash custom ROMs now, but the majority of the reasons why people rooted their Android devices way back in, like, 2012, 2013, 2014, really was to get rid of bloatware and system apps that were not needed, right? Like, I remember my very first Samsung Android smartphone. It was the Samsung Intercept. Very first one I had, and I did a lot of modifications to that phone. So mostly it was just removing bloatware apps that I really didn't even need. Like, why the hell would I need two different email apps system wide? Like, why? I'm gonna use Gmail, so why do I need a native email app? So yeah, that was like one of the reasons why, like rooting was TouchWiz. TouchWiz was horrible. TouchWiz was so bad. Android 14 going to be amazing. Bringing a DSDA. Yeah, yeah. Yep, dual SIM, dual active, Wi-Fi 7. And that's not just only with the Galaxy S23. Like the Galaxy S23s are going to be able to utilize it first, right? They're the flagships that come out in the beginning of the year, right? And then we got to see like, Google's Pixel 8 and 8 Pro. We got to see OnePlus and theirs. If it's starting to look fuzzy, it's because the sun is going down. For those who might be like, dude, why is your live stream looking fuzzy? Like, yeah, that's why. The camera's trying to keep up and keep things live. I meant leave when you're scheduled off. Not when are you scheduled off. Anyone ever do that? Start like, am I freezing up really? Someone let me know if it's starting to freeze up. 'Cause I'm on Visible by Verizon, so, and I'm on my phone. I'm not on a laptop or nothing like that. So let me know if it's starting to freeze up. I'm feeling the back of the phone. It's not that warm. I meant today when you're scheduled to leave off is when you should leave, not do any overtime. Oh, okay. Let me turn on these Christmas lights. I don't like turning on the main backyard light just because it gets weird. Oh, wait, they're already on. Never mind. As the sun goes down, the lights will start to show. Looks normal to you? All right, cool, cool. Yeah, you never know. It could be my connection end. It could be just Gene's connection end. It just depends. But yeah, the experience on the Galaxy A53 has been fine. The S23 needs Android 14. Oh, get it. You know it's gonna get it. It's for sure gonna get it. And it's gonna be funny because it's probably gonna roll at the end of this year, right? Like so, like around August, September, like right when it fully launches out of beta. You know the S23s are gonna get the updates. Right, man. So yeah, yeah. For that new stuff to work, yeah, you need Android 14 for that new stuff to work. It's gonna be cool. Dual SIM, dual active. I think is something that people kind of wanted already. Ever since DSDS was out, I know people wanted DSDA. So I mean, that's gonna work out for those people that want to run dual SIM, right? And actually run it as dual SIM, not like choose which number rings to your phone, which number you primarily ring from. Well, not rings to your phone because there's sometimes where I get phone calls from the second SIM it comes up. But like when you make your outbound calls, it may still want to require you to like decide, like if you have to select which number you're going to call out from or what the native number is going to be to call out from. But just using both, right? So just think about it like this: if you have a Boost Infinite SIM, which dynamically switches between AT&T, T-Mobile, and Dish, and then you have a Verizon line, like you pretty much have like all four carriers covered. You'll be covered. Um, yeah. Oh, speaking of that, I chatted with the Boost Infinite rep today. They haven't heard about this, right? And I've been seeing this online, so I don't know if any of you guys seen this, right? But is there an add-on fee to go completely unlimited on Boost Infinite? Because I was talking to him about that. I was like, I've been hearing that there is an add-on you pay additional and you go beyond 30, 40, 50 gigs of data usage for heavy users. The rep didn't hear nothing about that. Doesn't know anything about that add-on. So I was wondering if anyone actually knows of it. I've been hearing it in comments. I've been seeing it on Reddit. Um, but no one actually has come forward and said, yeah, I had to pay this much to have fully unlimited on Boost Infinite. Like, and maybe it's something that's not available now. That might be available down the road. Maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just trying to see. That is a thing. Because I got a lot of people just chiming in, and I appreciate everybody that's using Boost Infinite and then comes on my video and kind of like shares their experience. So I've already had, I think, like two or three people say that they've gone beyond the 30 gigabytes and that they're not throttled, they're deprioed. They've said that they've gone to like 40 gigabytes of data usage in a month, and maybe like one time they've been slowed down for a little bit, and that's probably network congestion, and then their speeds return to normal right after it. Yeah, so I think last month's bill when I closed it out, last month's bill I made it to 25.5 gigs of usage. Oh wow! Look at all these notifications on Facebook. Whoops. um, let me see. I'm opening up my Boost Infinite app. I'm going to see right now where I'm currently sitting at as far as data usage. On the south side of my city, Boost Infinite's a no go. I've used the services down there, and I tried live streaming once from it, and the live stream just killed, like in the first 10 seconds. All right, so I have 27 days left, and it says I've only used 0.03. So 30, 30 megabytes of data. Okay, been very crazy. Been very weird. Who is using and testing Boost Infinite, and how's your experience been? Yep, yep. I don't know. I think like a lot of people get their frustrations and stuff like that today with like the prepaid market and all that other stuff. I'm just like, why do people complain? Like, there's so much options. Me and my wife get stupid on Snapchat the way we message each other. Boostum is working great. Now not porting any new numbers over. Oh, okay. That's weird. You're having issues with that, but I mean, I don't know, because I know Consumer Cellular has a lot of issues when people are porting numbers over to them. So I don't know if it's an AT&T thing. Oh, Consumer Cellular. That's one thing I'm glad about. I'm glad that I could talk about them again. I hated it every time they were like, "Hey, you did a video on YouTube," and it could be a video that had nothing to do with Consumer Cellular, and they'd be like, "Oh, but you're wearing your lanyard with your badge on it, and so you have to take that video down." I was like, "Crap." Some of the live streams that I did, like when I got off work and I was live streaming, walking around the parking lot just to get some exercise while I was waiting to go home. Like those, I had my lanyard on, so they wanted me to delete those. I'm just like, Jesus, man, like they were so picky. Every time I was like, hey, Tito, great video by the way, but you have Consumer Cellular in your video. You need to take it down. You're not an official spokesperson. I'm like, people know that. People will know that, and I told them I don't mind saying it in the very beginning of the video if they want me to do that, like some sort of disclosure. Like, fine. I used to get so irritated with them, like, you know, Jesus. And I couldn't tell anyone if they're still watching my channel today to see what I say. I still got friends that work there, and they still message me and stuff like that. No one's told me like anyone's talked about it or heard any news about it traveling around work. You know, I appreciate that, Ricky. Consumer cellular is just such a weird casing. I mean, I've made suggestions to them, like they need to just stop doing this whole bill breakdown. Like, you're charged $14.50 for unlimited talk and text, and then you're charged, 32 something for unlimited data. It's like, stop already. Like, just stop with it. If you're gonna say unlimited for $50, which is unlimited talk, text, 50 gigabytes of high priority data access, and then you're throttled, then just say that. You know, they talk about they want to make things easier for their demographic, which is like the 45 plus. Then really make it easier. Make your plans easier to understand. Like your website says it, but when you send the customer their bill, that's what confuses them. That's what they're always calling in. I don't know. Maybe they do it on purpose so they get that call volume in, right? Because it's not like Consumer Cellular has like a massive amount of subscribers like AT&T and Verizon does, right? So maybe they do that on purpose to have them call in every month so that way there's jobs. I don't know. Station had a cool app for podcasts. Oh, nice. Never heard of it. I will check it out later. But now it's getting dark. Yeah. So it was fun working with them and everything like that. The other day I was chatting with a Visible rep and whatnot. So anyone that's interested in working for Visible, if you really want to know, LinkedIn is the spot. If you have a LinkedIn account, follow Visible because any job postings, like chat reps needed and stuff like that, you'll find it faster on their LinkedIn page rather than, you know, like any other job services. So that's just a quick heads up to people. I'm just like, Visible should really make the chat rep job like full remote. It's chat. There's no phone calls, so there's not a need for a call center. Save money and just do it, you know, remote chat. But yeah, I'm not trying to give too much away. But anyhow, yeah, I'm gonna jump off right now. I'm gonna let you guys go. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday. I won't be live tomorrow because it's Super Bowl. I know people are gonna be watching and having parties and stuff like that. So what I usually do and what I usually say to people, I know it sounds boring, sounds like, you know, like the parental thing, but I really do genuinely mean this. Please be careful tomorrow. If you're gonna party, you're going to a Super Bowl party, you're gonna have drinks and stuff like that. That's totally fine. Don't freaking drive home. That's why we have taxis, we have Uber and Lyft. Please be responsible when you're drinking, right? I want everybody to be around Monday when I drop a video for you guys to watch that video. I don't want to like hear bad news. I don't want anyone hurt. Um, so just please be safe, okay? I love you guys very much. So please be responsible and safe. That's all I'm gonna ask. Till then, y'all take it easy. I'll see you guys next Saturday with another live. And yeah, just be on the lookout for the shorts and videos and stuff. Y'all be cool.